Hey guys, I'm WildHeart and today we'll do patch 14.14 rundown. So far the best patch this season had at all, because there are so many good nerfs that many people expected to happen, and honestly, to my opinion, that's the best patch we've seen this season, probably in last couple of years as well, because it's so on point, you know. It doesn't have any unnecessary nerfs, I feel like. Probably some unnecessary buffs, but let's check what Red prepared to us. First, Aphelios. Aphelios got his basically not the most popular guns buffed. Eclipse, I mean, Binding Eclipse is not bad. It's not too good as well, like not the combat weapon, not the combat gun, but you probably want to use it when it comes, kinda. Sentry is nice. Onslaught is nice as well. I don't really see a need in buffing those, but I mean, it's a nice buff because if they don't buff. Oh, actually, on some they do buff the basic numbers, but they change the scaling as well. Yeah, it makes sense. It kind of makes sense because I feel like Aphelios kind of cannot compete with those mobile ADCs, so he has to receive something in exchange. That makes sense. Asol. A base AD +3, not bad. Not bad, nice start. Let's see what we have in queue. Every 0.25 seconds starting 1.25 seconds into the channel. Mana cost during W. This mana cost adjustment isn't changed while using Breath of Light during W. Wait, I'm not sure I can understand it exactly what they mean, because it kind of sounds odd to me. I'm not sure if I get the idea. Not too sure about that. Because on paper it sounds like too much. It will just exhaust Asol's mana reserves totally. But I probably misunderstand it. Let's see the other spells. Astral Flight. Astral Flight has range increase, so now you can probably kinda max its secondary. Movement speed debuff. Non-champions are slow to 0 movement speed. Lane minions and jungle monsters are slow to 0 movement speed. Yeah, I mean, at this point there's like literally no sense in maxing E anymore. At least it looks like. W as second spell is like way to go, probably. Alright. Ultimate. Fallen star damage 150, 250, 350. Plus 10% AP scaling. Alright. Disguise Descent. Disguise Descent shockwave damage. 100% of Fallen star's damage. Wait, what? But it's like the same. It's like literally the same it was. So I see. Kinda makes sense. Probably. Kinda makes sense. So they want Asol's ultimate, like the flat version of ultimate, to deal more damage, but the empowered version of ultimate to deal the same damage as it deals now. As it dealt before the patch. Belveth. Base attack range decrease. True form attack range adjusted to remain neutral. Bonus attack range plus 25 on Endless Banquet. Interesting, I want to see arguments about this change. Belveth has been too strong in a light level solo queue for a while and would like if your power were more consistent across the various player skill brackets. I cannot agree more than this with this change, but yeah, let's keep going. So we're going back on some of your changes from 12.12 right after she came out, which meaningfully light skewed her. By lowering her basic attack range, our goal is to weaken her ability to hit other melee champions before they can strike back. Yeah, it kind of makes sense, actually. It kind of makes sense. And you don't really want to ground this champion to be completely useless. So that's kind of smart change. You don't really want to touch her other base stats other than attack range. So that's a very good change, I would say. Brand, E cooldown increased, damage decreased. Minus 1 second, I mean plus 1 second on cooldown. Magic damage minus 5, minus 5, minus 5. It's kind of whatever. It's actually kind of whatever. Those who love to play Brand, it's kind of whatever. It's not nice, but it doesn't kill champion at all. So you can keep playing Brand too easily. Cho'Gath. Base damage on Q increased. Not much, just slightly, like plus 5 at level 2 of spell, and going up all the way to 20 damage. Not much. Ruptures, that's not the main damage dealing source from Cho'Gath. Vorpal spikes, that's something that is more important. Let's see. So, alright, so you kind of benefit from maxing it, like, I mean, you've been maxing Vorpal strikes in melee matchups anyways. AP scale remains the same, scaling remains the same. I mean, only flat damage is higher. It's not too much, but if you keep in mind that it's three stacks of Vorpal spikes, it's not 82 to 100 change. In fact, it's 246 to 300, which is a change you can notice. That's for sure. Recommended skill ordering update. Base health decreased. A very good nerf for Corki. That's a very good nerf. Recommended skill order. Corki's recommended skill order for mid lane has been updated to now suggest max and Q first. It was E. I remember prior to Corki's rework, prior to his recent rework, people were maxing Q in like regular matchups and E in like close range matchups. So people couldn't trade him. Fiddlesticks. Q is now blocked by abilities that block projectiles. Wait, what? Wait. Q is now blocked by abilities. So you can block Fiddlesticks Fury with Yasuo Wall? Terrify. Fucking holy fuck. Nah, I'd screenshot that. That's. Holy fuck. That's dumb. That's dumb. Holy shit. Okay. It literally makes no fucking sense at all. No sense at all, completely. But whatever. Like, literally whatever. Hecarim. Health growth increased. I mean, he doesn't really need that. W. Spirit of Dread. Duration decreased. Healing 20%, half to 20.5% for damage dealt by allies. So duration is decreased, but healing overall is increased. Cooldown is reduced to 14 at all ranks. So I remember the first version of Hecarim, and I don't remember, it was season 9 or no, it was season 10 or 11, probably. Yeah, season 10 or 11. When Hecarim initially became popular, people were maxing QE. After that, Hecarim got grounded, was completely unplayable. People started to max QW, I believe, and build like tank bruiser shit. After that, QW and build assassin again. And now it sounds, yeah, like Riot Games literally tell us, dude, you don't want to max W anymore. You want to max E again. So yeah, it seems like Q max into E now, because other than that, you don't really scale anything other than damage from maxing W. So what's the point? Damage is whatever on this spell. Aurelia, let's see. AD growth decreased. Passive evasion, fervor. Attack speed is. I mean, is it a buff or a nerf? This of changes is an adjustment to Aurelia that will shift some of her power from late game into the early mid game. We will be buffing her early to mid game by making passive scale linearly from levels 1 to 18 and balancing out this buff by reducing half for given blade surge is in the late game. Yeah, cause to me it looks exactly opposite. So it's 7.5 level 1, the same it was. And now it goes all the way to 25% at level 18. But at the end of the day, it will be the same passive. It's kinda the same, if I'm not mistaken. If I do math right. Ultimate Blade Surge cooldown reduction. So cooldown reduction is slightly lower. I mean, it's plus 1 second cooldown reduction. I mean, -1 in this case. -1. That's not cool. That's not cool. I mean, given the fact that Aurelia is a very difficult champion to pilot, like, yes, if she's getting ahead, she can be oppressive to deal with, she can completely one-man the game, but Aurelia is a very difficult champion to pilot her efficiently. Therefore, if you want to nerf her, you got to do it very carefully, because this is one of the champions that is very easy to make her unplayable and to kill her balance-wise, and very difficult to make this champion well balanced and somewhat popular among players. Because even now, while she's fairly strong, I would say, I wouldn't say she is too popular. Yeah, people pick her, but I rarely see Aurelia players doing anything, because the champion is very difficult to pilot post laning phase. During laning phase, yeah, she can bully, she can win, she's I would say she's fairly easy to build up your lead. But post laning phase, she's very difficult to do something in team fights, because you need to hit your stun, you need to land good ultis. That's not that easy as it looks, probably. Jax, E cooldown increased early. God bless. God bless. That's a very good fucking nerf. That's such a great nerf. Like, seriously, that's awesome. Like, cannot say anything apart of that. That's just great. Straight upgrade. Like, this champion has to have longer cooldown on E early on. Later on, when he has items, when he has levels, yes, it's okay that his E has shorter cooldown and he can kinda spam it every like 6 seconds with his ability haste. But early on, his E should have longer cooldown, and the responsibility of using it inappropriately should be higher. That's why I really love the nerf. Jace, cannon form Q damage increased. What? I mean, it's already strong. But also... Oh, they also increase the scaling 5%. I mean, that's not too much. That's what I appreciate. But at the same time, I don't feel like Jace as a champion needs a buff, especially buff on his Q damage. Like, seriously, I don't think that's the case. I don't think that's what he needs. Kindred. Base HP decreased, Q attack speed bonus decreased. HP decrease is kinda brutal for Kindred because she is already a fairly squishy champion that is kinda suffering for her early durability. Bonus attack speed from Q. I mean, if I would be the person to design Kindred, I would probably nerf her area on W instead of attack speed on Q, because the area that is covered by Wolf is just huge. Because the attack speed nerf is kind of brutal for Kindred. Like, she needs this attack speed. It's kind of dumb to nerf it. And that's why I'm not really sure. Alright, let's move to Lydia. Passive healing against successive champions reduced, E damage decreased. Healing effectiveness versus champions. 100% for the first, reduced 33% for the successive champions. Alright, 100% for the first, reduced to... That's a massive nerf. I mean, regardless how you look at it, it's a massive nerf. E. I'm not sure if nerfing the damage on this spell is what it has to be, what they should nerf, because I don't think it's any strong. Like, honestly, I would probably reduce the cooldown on it. I mean, nerf the cooldown on it by 2 seconds, or slightly reduce the hitbox, or slightly reduce the speed, anything, but nerfing the damage on such a weak spell already, I don't think that's a good idea, by any meaning. Like, it's a poke spell, it's an engaged spell, it's not about dealing damage, it's about slow it provides, right? And it's about engaging a fight. Probably about like moderate poke, but it's not about the damage deal, about the damage output the champion does. Like, it's kind of pointless to me. Melee. This champion has to be nerfed to the ground, honestly, even though I love melee a lot. I don't like how strong he is, and honestly, he's a no-brainer. I love the champion, but I just feel like he should be slightly redesigned as a champion because it's very difficult to balance him. His kit is just too good. Passive. 15% of allies AD followed by 15 to 50% based on level. Okay, what do we have now? 7. Alright, that's a massive fucking nerf. Of allies AD followed by 10 to... Plus 20% of melee speed, burn damage. Yeah, but that's a massive fucking nerf. Holy shit, his passive is so dead. Yeah, I mean, his early harass is fucking nuts. It's very difficult to deal with, but that's brutal. That's straight up a kill of the champion, no? Ultra Mega Fire Kick, cooldown. Cooldown reduced and range increased. At least one enemy champion Ultra Mega Fire Kick refunds 50% of its mana cost. So they want us to poke with this spell, or what's the intention? I mean, I kinda get the idea that they want to make up for the passive nerf with buffing his Q. This hitting one champion with Ultra Mega Fire Kick refunds mana cost is completely nonsense shit. It's not needed because you use your Q as a disengage tool, sometimes as a poke tool, but not too frequently. That's not a poke spell in its concept. That's why you don't really want to give it as a buff. But yeah, that's nice that they give some compensation for this passive. Cozy Campfire, recast range 700 to 3k units? Cozy Campfire is slower when following target that are more than 2. But I mean, 3k units, not bad. But I mean, it's only recast range, so you can pilot it more comfy. That's a nice change. I wouldn't say that's a serious buff or something, but that's a nice change that kinda makes his quality of life better. E. Shield strength is probably yeah, it's reduced to the ground, but AP scale is increased. So it reduces his early power, so it will be harder to win early on because you do much less damage comparing to what you're used to originally do. But at the same time, your AP scaling is much better. Like 15% ain't a joke at all. That's serious. I mean, when you have 100 AP, you already have about the same numbers as you used to have earlier. I'm not too sure why did they... Oh, but it's actually level 169. It's level 169. For some reason I was thinking the passive was changed from like each level to 1713, but it's 169. Probably that's targeted on Milo that way because he's support and he cannot get that much XP, and that makes sense. I mean, the champion is not that clearly. Champion is still cool, still kinda strong. But you might test it. Needly. W damage decreased, E damage decreased, AD ratio is increased. Wait, where do we see AD ratios? Overall, as a person who loves to ban Needly, I love the nerf of your magic damages. I'm not sure about AD ratios because AD ratios are kinda useless to jungle Needly, I believe. AD ratios are only useful for those people who play solo lane Needly in like tank AD build for top or mid lane. Other than that, sounds kinda dumb change to me. But well, I can't really see any use to this change other than solo lane Needly, honestly. And that's a very niche change. Like, there are not that big sample of players who can play solo lane Needly. Rumble. Q-based damage decreased, minion damage modifier adjust. Minion last hitting logic improved. Minion damage modifier is increased. I mean, it's actually reduced, but for early game it's increased. Total magic damage reduced. AP scaling is not increased at the same time. Wait, what? So the idea is to nerf the champion output. The idea is to nerf the champion output towards the champions, especially early on, because as you can see at level 9 it's the same damage, 185 and 180 is whatever, but 125 and 80 is fucking huge change. Like, it's literally halving the damage. It's huge. Remote Flame Spitter is no longer prevents minions from dying to other minions if they would die to one more tick of Flame Spitter. New Flame Spitter now deals one bonus tick of damage, ability duration permitting, if it would kill a minion. That's cool. I mean, that's cool because Rumble tends to suffer with last hitting. In my experience, but at the same time, the nerf is brutal. The nerf is actually brutal. W damage increased. That's cool. I mean, you can probably max QE now at this point. That's cool. Smolder. Q-based damage increased. +5, +5, +5, +5. Scaling remains the same. Yeah, scaling remains the same. I mean, +5 damage each level. Kinda whatever. Not the most important buff, I would say, but not the worst as well. Tristana, another nerf to my lovely Yordle. I really love the champion, but yeah, she has to be nerfed. That makes sense. Base stats. Base mana increased by 50 units, alright. No way, they... Oh my lord. They give... I mean, honestly, I saw it coming. The spell that just bluntly gives you extra attack speed has to cost some mana, so you cannot just spam it randomly, and that makes sense. At the same time, they nerf it, so that's a brutal nerf. I mean, that doesn't kill champion, but you got to be much more... You got to be much smarter than you were about using spell. Plus, it's a huge buff for presence of mind for Tristana, how important it is now. Rocket jump is whatever, 10 mana, whatever, but 50 mana for a spell that costs nothing is brutal. Z. Q damage increased, E cooldown reduction per enemy hit increased. That's cool. The E change is cool. Yeah, I love that changes. That's not too much, but that's something. That's cool. Zara, passive plant damage adjusted, bonus damage to monsters decreased early. God fucking bless. Zara jungle is literally cancer to deal with, like, seriously. if a person knows how to play Zyra, how to pilot her, how to clear her efficiently, she's just too quick. She's just too difficult to play against if the person is doing it right. Varmok's armor, that's brutal. That's actually fucking brutal. Varmok's heart health requirement. But I mean, that's brutal, but at the same time, that's not the end of the world. Like, basically, how it was working. You were rushing Varmox, and you had infinite health regen. What you will do now? You will get Locket, or Ziggs, based on what you need, and after that you buy Varmok, because you will have 1.5k regardless. Sounds like a solution. Runes. Absorb life, healing. Healing is reduced. Early game healing is reduced. That's a problem. I mean, they buff it for later stages of the game, but what's the point of later stages of the game if the rune is designed for laning phase? Like, what? What do we have there? Bug fixes, items, it's arena, ARAM, fixture rotation. Wow, Yumi's getting so many nice. Wow. These skins are nice. Well, guys, we're done with patch 14.14. Honestly, that's unironically one of the best patches I've seen, and I'm surprised how positive was the shift, even though I disagree with some changes Riot did. Overall, I'm really happy about what I see now. I really appreciate it. So yeah, thank you for watching, guys. Hope you will enjoy this patch review and patch 14.14 as well. And good luck on the Summoner's Rift. See you later.